everyone, it's Jodie here, the Scottish Minimalist. Tomorrow I start my new job and I'm going to be travelling quite a bit. So I'm going to share with you my top 10 tips of how to stay minimalist whilst travelling. Before I go into the things that I've packed, my number one top tip is make a list. Making a list doesn't just mean that you're going to be more organised, but it also means that you're not going to stray away and pack random things last minute. I'm the worst for picking up a bit of makeup to shove in a bag and then going, oh wait a minute, maybe I should pack another million lipsticks, just in case. So if you're like me, then writing a list means that you'll just take things that you need and not things that are only going to make your bag heavier. The bag that I'm taking away is this one here. The reason why I like this bag so much is that it's really light, it was really cheap to buy, and it also has wheels on it, so it's easy to carry. But overall, for me, this is a reasonable sized bag, and that is my number 2 tip. If you start out with a massive suitcase, then you're just going to fill it, trust me. It also means that you're probably going to pack things that you don't really need. I'm going to be away for 5 days, so this is the size of the bag I'm taking with all of my clothes, toiletries and all the things I'm going to need in the hotel. And this is the bag that I'm going to be taking on the train. This was the perfect size to fit my laptop in and the things that I'm going to need for the train ride. However, it's not just me that has been using this bag. Whenever Kevin goes away somewhere, he uses it as well because it's an ideal size. So my number 3 tip is to empty your bags before you start packing. This seems like a really obvious tip. However, the amount of times that I've gone away, got to a hotel, opened my bag, unpacked it and found something really random in the bottom of it has been far too many. There's always a bit in like the bottom of your suitcase and you unzip it and you open it when you get somewhere and like there's your dad's old swimming trunks from like 10 years ago, or an old pair of goggles, or some kind of weird medicine that went out of date in like 1995. Because of the aeroplane rules as well, you don't want to end up going through security and then they take your bag off you and there's like an old lighter in it or anything like that, because it can be really embarrassing. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I've packed for my first 5 days away. The first thing might seem a little bit weird, but I get really thirsty and I spend a lot of money on drinks when I'm out. So it's much cheaper for me to just buy one of these little cartons of diluting juice. It makes about 20 I think, and just making my own drinks when I get to the hotel. Something else I've packed is of course my makeup bag. I've just packed the bare minimum of what I'm going to need on a work trip for 5 days away. Another thing that I'm going to take, of course, is my toothbrush and the toothbrush holder that I found in my very first minimalism video. If you watched that, then you would have seen me find this and I didn't even know that I'd owned it, and it has actually come in really handy. Another 2 things are toothpaste, of course, and dry shampoo. The toothpaste that I have there is toothpaste that can be taken on a plane because of the size of it, so I actually only take that when I go travelling. It also means as well that there's toothpaste left here for Kevin, because there's nothing worse than when he goes into the bathroom, I've gone away somewhere and there's no toothpaste left for him. And I have been guilty of that 1 or 2 times. The other couple of things are just some makeup wipes, my toiletry bag as well, and my pencil case. Again, this isn't something I would usually pack for a holiday away, but because it is a work trip away, then I'm going to need pens and pencils to write down some notes. So my number 4 top tip is to pack everything the day before you go. Even things that you're going to need to unpack to use in the morning. I know this seems a little bit backwards and maybe a bit more time consuming, but I think that packing everything the day before means that you're not going to be rushing around last minute in the morning and just packing everything. Another good thing about packing everything the day before is that when you're getting ready in the morning, you just take it out and put it back in, so you're not going to forget anything. If you're up getting ready before you leave and you're doing your makeup and going to your bag for your hairbrush and it's not there, then you know that you've forgotten to pack it. So try packing everything the day before you leave and you might be surprised at how light your bag ends up, but also at the things that you may have forgotten. One of the things I just took out was my toilet bag, and inside my toilet bag I have my shampoo, my conditioner, my deodorant, shower gel and my razor. I can tell you right now that my shampoo is not this size and neither is my conditioner. So my tip when trying to be more minimalist when travelling is to buy mini bottles, or to find mini bottles and reuse them. Unfortunately, all the mini bottles I had at the moment still have things in them, like this little one here with my shower gel in it. So last night I went to the supermarket and bought some of these. You'll really be able to pick these up anywhere that sells travel things, and usually they're specially designed to make sure that they're the right size to go on planes. So although I'm getting the train tomorrow and this is more about making sure that my bag isn't packed with big massive bottles, I will still be able to use these when I travel by plane. So they're going to be a really good investment, and they're much cheaper than buying the mini versions of shampoos and conditioners all the time. Now I'm going to go on to my clothes. So I'm going to be travelling down on Monday and coming back on Friday. What I've packed are a pair of chinos, a top, another top, another top. I've packed a dress. This dress is really casual, but you can wear it out as well. So the reason why I'm bringing this is in case there's like networking events at night time, but also because it's really comfy for during the day, so it means that I can use it for either or. I also have a light waterproof jacket just in case it rains, and some pyjamas. And of course, in the side pocket down here, I've packed my underwear. Now I'm not taking loads of clothes, but a lesson that I learned when I was younger and that has been really helpful for me throughout the years is to roll your clothes. When I'm repacking this later on, I will be packing it like this. Rolling your clothes may make them a little bit more creased, but they're going to get creased anyway if they're lying in a suitcase. Rolling clothes around breakable items as well means that there's more cushioning. And I know this video is about minimalism, but it means that you also might be able to fit in an extra couple of t-shirts. The last couple of things that I've packed are my handbag and my notebook for taking notes at my work event. As you can see, overall I'm not taking that much stuff, and it kind of goes back to my first point about making a list. But my tip number 7 is to not take things that you don't need. I realise that this is really obvious, but sometimes we are so guilty of it. I know that when we're packing bags, it seems to be second nature to make sure that we don't forget anything, but the answer is not to compensate through putting things in the bag that you really aren't going to use. Now that I've repacked that suitcase, I'm going to go on to my travelling bag. This brings me quite nicely onto my top tip number 8, and that is to take a separate bag for travelling. This is especially important if you're travelling somewhere quite far away, because it's awful when you're sitting and you have absolutely nothing to do. What I found as well is that if you don't take things to do when you're travelling, you usually tend to buy something, whether it be a book or a magazine. So making sure that you're fully prepared before you leave might actually save you some money, as well as meaning you're not going to be bored when travelling to wherever you are going. For tomorrow, I am taking my water bottle, and this is what I'm going to put the diluting juice in. My hairbrush, just because my hair can feel really minging when I've been travelling for ages, so it's quite nice to just give it a wee brush. A purse, because I'm not going to get very far without it. A new book that I've bought because I've just finished my old book, and this one looks really good. Oh, sorry, I didn't remember you were there. And last but not least, of course, my laptop, just so I can edit this video when I'm travelling down. Now that we've gone through everything that I am taking when I go away, I'm going to tell you my last 2 tips. Tip number 9 is to try to make sure that everything you take clothes-wise match. The majority of my clothes are white, black, grey, navy, or any other boring shade or tone that you can imagine. So for me, this is maybe a little bit easier. Again, this used to be something that I used to be really guilty of. I would have like some really mad printed top, and it would only really go with like one pair of jeans. But when you're away, shit happens, and something would happen to the jeans, and then I was stuck with a top that might be like bright orange, and I would be wearing it with like, I don't know, lime green shorts or something like that. So if you're only taking a few clothes items away with you, try to make sure that you can mix and match all of them, because it stops any horrendous outfit mishaps when you are on holiday or on your business trip. Last but not least, my number 10 top tip is to not worry if you have forgotten something. Yes, that is right, I am telling you that underpacking is much better than overpacking, and I would choose it any day. I was always the person growing up that would have the nail file, the paracetamol, I would have a spare candle just in case it got dark outside. I would pack absolutely everything that I owned into a suitcase and I wouldn't use any of it. Now, unless you're going somewhere where there literally are no shops and no way of buying anything, then you're going to be okay. Even now, before I leave, I always have that last minute thought that I've forgotten something and I always stress out. But then I remember that usually I'm going to be going to somewhere that is going to have a shop, or it's going to have somewhere where I can get something if I've forgotten it. So don't panic. And if you are going somewhere where you might not be able to get anything, or maybe you don't have enough money to buy any more stuff, then make sure to write your list and make sure that you take the essential items that you need when you go away. Usually, by rule of thumb, if you've got your money, your passport, your underwear, some outfits and your toiletries, then you're going to be okay. I know that travelling overall can be exciting, but it can also be really stressful when you're preparing beforehand. So I really hope that this video has helped you and that you can use it when packing for your trip away. I'm really keen to hear what you thought of this. Are there things that I've packed that you think I maybe should have left at home? Or do you have any tips that you would like to share with me? Because remember that I am still on this journey and I would like all the help that I can get. Please do let me know in the comments below. And last but not least, if you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch this video today, and I will see you in my next video.